Hello everyone, you're welcome to another episode of Thought Central with Uche. My name is Uche Akomas. If you're joining me for the first time, this is what I do here. I talk about life-related issues which are designed to inspire a positive change by changing the narrative from my later corner. And I consider this change of narrative a process. Okay, so I had a very interesting conversation with an Uber driver one of the days I was coming to work. So let me just give you a background to this. So the previous day I joined a colleague to Iyanoworo and then decided to get a cab. So I booked on Uber and Bolt, okay? However, because of the surge or traffic, the drivers were quite far away from where I was. So long story short, I did a lot of cancellations on Bolt, and because of that, Bolt blocked my account. So the next day, I woke up late, running late, and I tried to book a ride, only for me to find out that Bolt has blocked my account and said they would, unblock it on 1st of March. So I had the option of using Uber. So I booked a ride on Uber. The first driver was far away from my location and, I just couldn't wait. I pleaded with him to cancel from his end and he did. Then the second driver came, and we started a trip. So I asked him if he stays around my area because I was trying to make an offline arrangement with a driver who will drop me off at work and pick me up, from work at close of business. So that was how the conversation started. When we were talking, I heard the passion in his voice, about how riders cancel trips arbitrarily, and I thought, why don't I record our conversation? And he said, okay. However, he said he's going to be anonymous, so I will respect his request to be anonymous. I'm hoping that this would, strike up a lot of conversations, and Uber would work on their app because there have been a lot of complaints here and there from riders, from drivers. So this episode takes a look at some of the issues that some drivers of Uber and Bolt have, and riders too. So I'd like you to stay tuned and enjoy it. So I'll be playing the conversation I had with the Uber driver. Very interesting too. All right, so stay tuned for that.
Vehicular and commuter movements.
Okay, sir.
Everybody wants to go to work on Monday. The roads are usually filled up. So the moment you put on your app, best day where you are assured of, higher rides, better rides.
Yeah.
Worst day, it would be your worst day too, because the moment you put on your app, you are seeing requests front, left, right, back, and center everywhere. And on Mondays, riders are not usually patient at all.
Okay.
You could be getting rides 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from you, and the moment it's coming in, the person is cancelling. The moment it's coming in, the rider is cancelling. You can have like 10 cancellations within a space of 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Wow.
10 cancellations. And by the time these riders are cancelling out on you, they are destabilizing you, one. Two, if you're an Uber driver, Uber does not favor so much cancellation. At the end of the day, it translates into your confirmation rate. Your confirmation rate gets low.
Okay.
Because Uber, there's something that Uber believes.
Okay.
If you are not accepting any ride, you stay offline.
Okay.
Right? The moment any ride comes in, they expect that, you should honor that ride.
Okay.
And by the time a rider is cancelling out on you, which I think Uber should be looking at seriously. Honestly, it is affecting a lot of drivers.
Okay, so
riders have right to cancel for various reasons.
Exactly.
I should not be paying the price for a rider cancellation.
True. Okay, so does Uber have the provision for, Bolt has options for, or reasons, possible reasons for cancellation of trips, like long pickup time, driver requested, I cancel, a wrong request or something, accidental request, and other options. Does Uber have these options for cancellation, or reasons for cancellations on the app?
Good. I think they do.
Okay.
Because as a driver, if I pick up a ride and I'm canceling, Uber automatically asks me my reasons.
Okay.
Right? They will say either I picked it up accidentally or for whatever reason. And I think it should be both ways. Maybe the rider will have
the same option.
That same option.
Okay.
But what I have noticed is that a lot of riders abuse that process.
Okay.
They are not always truthful. Because if a rider cancels out and says, I can't wait, or long route, I don't think Uber will be using that against me.
Okay. So, in other words, Uber should try to disregard the cancellation of trips on the part of the riders in such a way that it does not count against the drivers.
Honestly, since Uber has phased out the issue of cancellation fee, a lot of riders now have been abusing cancellation rates. Because majority of riders, what they do now, if they are going on a ride, I can confidently say 80% of riders in Lagos book both Bolt and Uber together.
Yeah.
And they want the fastest ride, leaving out the other one in the cold.
Okay.
So it's encouraging a lot of cancellation, and it is still affecting Uber drivers.
So what do you think that Uber can do to maybe reduce, if not, do away with the cancellations of trips? Because people have a lot of reasons for canceling their trips. Like I gave you an instance that happened yesterday. I booked on both apps, Bolt and Uber, but I noticed that that Uber's time or duration, like there was a long wait from Uber, about 20 or 22 minutes to get to me, and then there was Bolt that was just 8 minutes or 7 minutes away from me. So what I decided was, at the point, like, whichever one gets close to me first, I would get on the cab. So what do you think Uber can do to reduce the rate of cancellation on the part of the riders?
Yes, what you have just narrated is actually a good point. I think Uber should work on their app, because I've had experiences where I will have to be pleading personally to the riders. Sometimes when I call up a rider and say, "Hi, Oga, please, I have to cancel. You are 10 minutes away." Whereas I am maybe like 3-5 minutes away from the person. Actually, 3-5 minutes away.
Okay.
So maybe Uber should work more on their app. Sometimes their app does not pick exact location of drivers.
Okay.
And that has contributed a lot to cancellation rate.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there will be riders that will tell me, "Oh God, this app is showing 15 minutes away."
Exactly.
I will say, "Please disregard it. I am close to you." And there are times too, I would have picked up a rider and the app will still be showing the rider, "Your driver is 5 minutes away." I have picked up the rider, I have started my ride.
Yes, it has happened to me before.
I think Uber should work on
the
their
app
or something.
All right. I picked a ride to go to work this morning, and he's quite a pleasant driver, and we struck up a conversation. First, I asked him if he stays around my area, because I've been trying to have this arrangement that someone can drop me off and pick me up at after work, after close of business, depending when I get my own ride. So that was how we started this conversation, and I saw the passion with which he talked about Uber, and I said, this is a loyal driver of Uber. And there were a lot of things he raised, a lot of issues he raised, which I I try to make excuses for the riders because I know that some of the issues he raised, I'm guilty of them. For instance, booking a ride and canceling it, which happened yesterday. As I said, I booked Uber and Bolt at the same time because I needed to get home and I didn't like the place I was. So I noticed that Uber was 20 minutes or 22 minutes away from me, while Bolt was 7 minutes away from me. But the Uber driver had already contacted me to find out where exactly I was, and to find out where I was, and told me he was coming to pick me. But then I couldn't wait for that long. So when the Bolt driver arrived, I got in and then sent a message to the Uber ride and Uber driver and said, sorry, I have to cancel. I can't wait, before I canceled the trip. Well, another instance, I booked for two of them, Bolt and Uber. And Uber came earlier. I joined Uber. I think Bolt or Uber, one of them, and got home. But I didn't remember to cancel the trip on the other one that was, yet to get to me. So I had gotten home when the driver called me and told me he had arrived at my location. But then I was home. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm already home. I've left that location. This could happen to anybody. People could cancel rides, for different reasons. You may book a ride and then maybe there's an emergency in the house or in your office that need you to, that require attention, and you need to cancel. You won't be able to make that trip. You could also book a ride and maybe you see a free ride like I've also had in the past. And then what's the need? What's the essence of spending 5,000 naira when I have a free ride that will drop me to my up to my doorstep, and you'll cancel? But the thing is, I try to make excuses for riders, because I believe that people do not do this intentionally. A lot of reasons could prompt riders or a rider to cancel trips. So, but the thing is, if they don't know that the cancellations, if riders do not know the cancellations affect the drivers, they will not do it arbitrarily, because he said he'll be 2 minutes away from them or even arrive at the location. So the whole thing is, I told him something and I said something to him, which is, if people don't know any better, they won't do better. If they don't know that the cancellations affect the drivers, they would at least they'll be a bit considerate when they are canceling arbitrarily. All right. Okay, so I forgot to mention that the Uber driver I'm riding with is a diamond rated driver. Okay, so I hope to get more reactions from fellow riders, from other drivers of Uber and Bolt, just to compare the notes. Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, I hope that this will help the riders and drivers by the time it gets out. Is your lady Uche Akomas on Thought Central with Uche. You know what we do here? I talk about life-related issues which are designed to inspire positive change by changing the narrative from my little corner. And I don't just talk about relationship, marriage, love. I talk about real life issues. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye and have a great day.